Well, hello there, future sharks. Welcome to our application webinar today for our doctoral programs. My name is Bao Gessel, and I represent the Graduate Admissions Department at Nova Southeastern University's College of Computing and Engineering, or CCE for short. And just as a heads up, everyone attending today will be muted during this presentation so that we have the best sound quality. And the goal of this presentation is to guide you through our application requirements, the process, how it works, and also provide lots of suggestions to help you prepare a competitive application for our graduate programs at CCE. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so we have 3 doctoral programs at CCE. They are the Computer Science program, Cybersecurity Management program, and the Information Systems program. We actually have a very unique program format for our doctoral programs. For the core courses, they are a blend of on-campus and online activities. For the on-campus sessions, they are face-to-face, and they're meetings that are held on the Fort Lauderdale-Davie campus, which is our main campus. And they occur once per term from a Wednesday to a Friday. Students are required to attend these scheduled class sessions. And then in between these sessions, students would work online on course assignments and research, participate in online activities that involve interaction with faculty and also with other students. After the core courses are completed, students would complete at least 2 research courses and then at least 24 credits of dissertation. And just a note, for the research and the dissertation stage, students would not be required to attend these on-campus sessions. So the on-campus sessions are only for the core courses. And with this in mind, I wanted to make an important note that our doctoral programs are not suited for international students who would need an I-20 to study in the US, because the primary delivery of these programs is online and there's only 2 on-campus sessions per year. So again, it would not be suited for international students who need an I-20 to study in the US. And students are able to take up to a maximum of 2 courses per semester, which is considered full-time. And as a full-time student, the student would be able to complete their courses, their core courses, over 4 semesters if they decide to go down this path. So CCE is home to plenty of working professionals in the field that are trying their best to keep a healthy work-life balance. So for some of these professionals, taking 1 course may be more feasible rather than taking 2 courses, which is possible. So 1 course is part-time. It just extends the time a little bit more towards completion. I would also keep in mind that the cost of taking courses part-time may not be as effective as taking courses full-time, since this would double the amount a student would have to travel to the main campus for the on-campus sessions if you don't live here locally. So it's definitely possible. It's just something to keep in mind. Now, for the 2 research courses, they can be done consecutively, but not within the same semester, which then that would be the additional 2 additional semesters, followed by a 1-year minimum dissertation. Now, once a student gets to dissertation, most of them do go on to register for continuing dissertation, and anywhere between a year and a half, again, depending on the student, their research interest, etc. So overall, the amount of credits, minimum amount of credits, is 64 or 67. However, it can extend beyond that. And the time completion for our PhD degree programs is on average between 4 to 7 years, again, depending on the pace of the coursework and the time spent during the research and dissertation phase of the program. And then the maximum number of years to complete the program that you have is 10 years. Now I'm going to move on to our mission requirements. So we require a master's degree, at least a master's degree from a regionally accredited institution with a 3.25 overall GPA, the online application with a $50 application fee, all official transcripts from every institution that you've attended, and then the resume or the CV, whichever one you would like to submit, 3 letters of recommendation, an admissions essay, and the program-specific admission requirements. So I want to talk a little bit more about some of these documents, and I'll start off with the transcripts. We recommend to allow enough time or sufficient time to submit official transcripts, just because once you request it, sometimes it's out of your hands, for whether it's being mailed or sent electronically. You want to make sure that you give enough time for the transcripts to be sent, and that way we also receive it and process it on time as well. We do accept copies of transcripts for review purposes, meaning we accept unofficial transcripts for review purposes. If you are admitted, you would be provisionally admitted. So being provisionally admitted means that you are able to register for the first term. However, you would not be able to receive financial aid. So once you submit the official transcripts, then you would be fully matriculated or fully admitted, and then you would be able to receive financial aid or other benefits that you are depending on for your education. So especially in those circumstances, if you are relying on financial aid, for example, we definitely recommend to submit all of your official documents as soon as possible. So you don't have to wait for a decision to be made to do that. You can submit all of them, during the admissions process, just to make it like a smoother process for you. If you have recently graduated and your degree has not been conferred, we recommend to save yourself some money and wait until your degree is conferred on the transcript before you send it. So if you just graduated and you immediately send a transcript, your degree conferral may not show on that transcript, and you're going to have to request for it again. So I would recommend to, call your university and, you can ask them, when your degree would be conferred. It might be a month from now, it might be 2 weeks, or, depending on the time. And then once the degree is conferred, then you can request for it. That way you're only doing it once. You are also able to apply to our graduate programs while you are enrolled in your last semester. So in addition to the regular admissions requirements, what we would need in that case is the official transcript that shows your current degree in progress. And this would be the official transcript from your current institution. And also a degree verification letter that confirms your expected graduation date. So again, I just want to clarify, this letter could be from your academic advisor or your registrar's office or your department. However, the process that your university follows. And the letter, it could be short. It doesn't have to be anything long, 1 page, from your university confirming that you are expected to graduate. And then if you are admitted, we would require the final official transcript that shows your degree conferred. So in this case, you would also be provisionally admitted pending that final official transcript showing your degree conferred. All right, I just want to take a minute here to make sure that everyone can see the screen. If you're not able to see the screen, please let me know in the chat. All right, I'll continue on. So the next one I want to talk about is the resume. So the content of your resume or your CV should provide a descriptive account of your academic background and also your professional experience as well. It should also highlight the areas of experience that pertain to the program you are applying to. So whether it was in the past, current, or in the near future, just go ahead and include them all. And really the only difference between the two, the resume and a CV, is that the CV includes more detailed information about your professional career, articles published, awards, and recognitions. Now, for the letters of recommendations, they should be substantive evaluations from professors. Professors are preferred, by the way, or from people that are in a position to comment on your career promise and also your potential to be successful in the program. These types of recommendations hold the most value. Also, after you submit your application, is when you would request for the recommendations electronically through your account. So again, this is after you submit the application, you can then go ahead and request for the recommendations electronically. Now, in the case that you have graduated from our master's programs, so from CCE, and you are applying to our PhD program, we highly, highly recommend to request letters of recommendations from CCE professors. And for the essay, now for the admissions essay, the content of it, as well as the quality of your writing, would be evaluated by the admissions committee. So you should definitely make sure to cover all of the points that are requested in the essay. So I'm just gonna read out the points to you really quick. So the first point is discuss your reasons for pursuing this degree, your degree. Next is discuss your academic strengths and weaknesses as they pertain to your intended program. And next is discuss your areas of research interest, and you should justify your research interest in particular with respect to your education, expertise, and also your aspirations. And last is describe how you plan to balance the time commitment required for the program. So about 10 hours per week per course and 15 to 20 hours for the dissertation. And so you would describe how you plan to balance time commitment along with your personal and professional responsibilities as well. Now for the essay, there isn't a specific format that you would have to follow, font and things like that. But we definitely recommend to keep it less than 2 pages. So no more than 2 pages. And there isn't an interview process for the admissions review process. So which essentially makes this essay your voice. So please keep in mind, the grammar of your essay is just as important as the content of your essay. And this also goes for other documents that you decide to submit as well. So you're actually able to submit additional documents to strengthen your application, such as standardized test scores, letters of recommendation, certificates, writing samples, extra letters of recommendation if you wish to do that. The GRE to confirm is not required. So neither the GRE nor the GMAT is required. And if you want to submit any additional documents to your file, all you would have to do is email it directly to us and we can add it to your file. And then that way it'll make sure that the admissions committee sees all of your documents. So aside from the general admissions requirements for graduate programs, the program-specific admission requirements highlight the kind of requirements that are specific to the degree program of your interest. And it's basically the background knowledge that the admissions committee looks for in a potential candidate. I do recommend looking into the program-specific requirements on our website before applying. I'll definitely show you at the end of this presentation where this can be found. Also, I recommend watching our academic program guidance webinar on our YouTube channel where we dive a little deeper into this, and I'll show you where to go for that as well. So ultimately, the admissions committee reviews your file as a whole, and they make their decision based on evidence of potential for success in the doctoral programs, at the doctoral level research, and also in the completion of a doctoral dissertation. Now I'd like to move on to our term dates and deadlines. So we actually have 2 entry terms per year, and that's the winter for 17 weeks and the fall for 16 weeks. So the winter typically begins in January and the fall typically begins in August. So fall 2020 is actually our next available term, which starts August 17. And our admissions decisions are made on a rolling basis. So what we have in terms of deadlines is a preferred deadline. And what that means is that in order to ensure a decision in time for your desired semester, applications and all the required documents have to be ready for review at least 2 months prior to the start of the term in order for us, again, to guarantee a decision in time. So 2 months prior to start term for fall 2020, as an example, would be June 17. So as long as we have all of your required documents by then, we can definitely guarantee a decision in time for the fall term. If we don't get all of the documents in time, once we do, we package it up, we send it to the admissions committee, and if a decision is not made in time for the term, then the committee would make a decision for the next available term. And just so you know, the application, once you submit it, it is good for up to 1 year. So now I'll go over our admissions process. So when you apply online, allow at least 24 to 48 hours for your application to be processed. So once you submit it, we'll process it. We'll contact you to let you know what your application status is, also answer any questions that you have. And then once we receive all of your required documents, hopefully by the preferred deadline, then we send your file to the committee for review. It could take up to a month for a decision to be made. And then once a decision is made, you would receive the decision letter to your email. And then if you are admitted, we definitely recommend to make an appointment with your academic advisor to talk about course planning, registration, continue registering for your courses, get all of that started as soon as possible so you can get into the classes that you want. And here I want to emphasize again that if you are provisionally admitted, we recommend to submit all of your official documents as soon as possible. And finally, I'll go over starting your application process. So the first thing you want to do is create the account. And I want to emphasize that you want to click on create a new graduate account because you are applying to the doctoral program. So you do want to make sure you click on create a new graduate account. And also keep in mind, this email will be your permanent username for this account. And this means that you're able to change the email to which you receive communications from us later on and at any time. But when you sign back in, you would use this email that you originally created the account with as your username. And don't sweat if you forget your password. Just click on forgot your password. Or you can call the 1-800 number under where it says forgotten password right there. And then you would just go here to apply.nova.edu, and this is where you would land on this page, so apply.nova.edu, and I'll show you how to get there as well. The next step you would do is start the application. So at this stage, you can still save your application, make any changes, such as the term, major, your personal information, such as your address and things like that. And then once you're done with that, once you submit the application, if you need to make any changes to the term or the major, just let us know and we can help you out with that. And then step number 4. So this is step number 4, supplemental items. So this is where you would actually view all of your required documents that's listed. This is where you would also upload certain documents such as your resume and also your essay as well. And if you added any documents to your file, you would also see it here as well, because this is where we would upload it. All right, so now what I'd like to do is actually take you to our website where I can show you where all the admissions related information is. So this is our CCE website. So the main page or the front page of our website, that's computing.nova.edu. Again, that's computing.nova.edu. And anywhere on our site, you can start applying by clicking on apply now. So you'll see this button here, apply now. Click on graduate and professional. Again, you're applying for our graduate programs. And like I said, you click create a new graduate account, and you would fill all this information out. And that allows you to create the account. And to return to your account is the same place where you log in. So once you create an account, every time you come in back to your application, this is where you would log in with your email and password. And then to go to the admissions information, what I can do is click at the top, graduate and professional, click on admissions. You'll see PhD on the left-hand side here, PhD requirements, and you'll see everything such as the term dates and deadlines, admission requirements, program-specific admission requirements, as I was talking about earlier. And one interesting thing to also note is if you're interested in the on-campus sessions and what they look like in terms of the schedule, you would go to the bottom here, click on academic calendars, and you'll be able to see here. If you click on fall 2020, you'll see what the schedule dates look like. Now, because of the current situation, just for this fall semester, at the moment, we are having all of the on-campus sessions virtually, so they will all be online. But this is typically where you would go. And then for winter 2021 as well, you can see there as well. And for any future admissions events, I'd like to show you where to go also. So you would go to admissions events here. And you would see all of our upcoming events. So our next upcoming event is the admissions overview webinar, and that's next Wednesday, June 17th at 3 p.m. So this presentation provides a general overview of NSU, our graduate program offerings, and the admissions and financial aid processes, and much more. And to go to our YouTube channel, as I was talking about earlier, if you go back to the admissions events page, a YouTube link is also available here. You click on that. This presentation is available on our YouTube channel as well, so that you can refer back to it. And the Graduate Academic Program Guidance webinar, which I was talking about earlier, is one that I definitely recommend to take a look at if you would like to. It's also available here. And of course, if you ever have any additional questions, or if you want to browse the website and you're looking at, you want to look at commonly asked questions, you would go to our FAQs here, and you would see all of the questions that would be organized here. And of course, you can always contact us if you have any additional questions, and we'll be happy to assist you as well. So I do want to take this time to answer any questions that you may have. For any questions, please type your questions in the Q&A as well, and I'd be happy to assist you. I just have a few minutes here, so I want to make sure I can answer any questions that anyone has. Okay, and if, oh, okay, I think we have something. Okay, so our question is so the active program runs about 33 weeks out of the 52 for the year. So if you're talking about the core courses, if you're talking about the combination of the 17 weeks with the 16 weeks, then that would be correct. Yeah, so for the winter term, it does go from January to May, and then for the fall term, it goes from December to January. So the winter is 17 weeks, and then the fall is 16 weeks. Now, once you start the research courses and on the dissertation phase, then the summer would then be available as well. So once you get to the research stage and the dissertation is when you would be able to register for the summer courses, or the summer term, which the summer term is 12 weeks. And actually, if anyone has any questions, I can I can, if you have a question, let me know in the Q&A and I can unmute you as well if you prefer to speak. Okay, is there anyone that would like to talk in terms of asking a question? Okay, so while I'm waiting, I do want to go back to the PowerPoint to let you know you can contact us. If you can't think of any questions right now, that's completely fine. This is our contact. You can contact me, Bao Gessel, directly, or you can also contact my colleague as well, Lenley Jean Joseph. This is our direct contact. And then also don't forget to stay connected with us on social media. So whether that be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, you know, please feel free to stay connected with us. We'd be also happy to schedule any one-on-one sessions. So if you have any specific questions about your situation that you prefer to speak with us one-on-one, you can do that as well. So we can make an appointment by phone. We can make an appointment via Zoom. We can definitely do that. We can just let us know and we can work a date out.